Have you ever felt constantly exhausted, even with enough sleep? Or have you forgotten an old friend's name, or suddenly blanked on why you entered a room? If this sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Millions of Americans over 60 are quietly going through this every day, and far too many assume that it's just a normal part of getting older. But here's the truth, there is a very specific and entirely correctable reason behind these symptoms. It is not your age, it is not your stress level, nor is it because you are not exercising enough, as people might say. That reason has a very simple name: a vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 is a micronutrient your body cannot make itself. You have to get it from food or supplements. When you are young, absorbing B12 from your meals is fairly easy, but after 60, B12 absorption starts to drop off sharply because of a weakening digestive system, lower stomach acid, and sometimes the medications you take. The result, even if you are eating well, you could still become deficient in this vitamin, a silent but extremely dangerous possibility. Here is what is so important. B12 is not just about giving you energy. It plays a vital role in maintaining your memory, alertness, mood stability, nerve function, and even in creating healthy red blood cells. If a B12 deficiency goes on too long, you could face chronic fatigue, mental fog, mild depression, numbness in your hands and feet, and even permanent, irreversible nerve damage. Take Walter, a 74-year-old from Oregon who was diagnosed with mild depression and age-related cognitive decline. But after his doctor ran more detailed blood tests, they found his B12 level was critically low. After just 3 months of proper supplementation, he regained his mental clarity, started sleeping better, and most importantly, he felt like he had gotten himself back again. So how can you tell if you are running low on B12? And if you are, what is the next step? Today's video will break down exactly why B12 is so crucial for older adults, the 5 warning signs you cannot ignore, and the simplest, most affordable ways to boost your levels. Make sure you stick around until the end, because you might be shocked to learn this. Even people who eat a healthy diet with no existing health problems can still be low on B12 without a clue. And that single issue, if not caught early, can rob you of many healthy years that you otherwise could have enjoyed. All right, let's dive right in. First, B12 helps prevent fatigue and weakness. Do you ever feel wiped out without doing much? Are there days when just running errands, cooking, or tidying up a room is enough to make you want to lie down all afternoon? That feeling of exhaustion, lethargy, and low energy is not just a sign of getting older. For people over 60, it could very well be an alarm bell that your body is running low on vitamin B12. B12 plays a key role in cellular energy production. Specifically, it helps your body convert food into usable energy, helps red blood cells deliver oxygen to your tissues, and keeps your metabolism running smoothly. When you do not have enough B12, your body is like a car with no guam. The engine is there, but it simply cannot run at full power. And as a result, you feel tired for no apparent reason, even if you are not sick or losing sleep. Take 71-year-old James, who used to think this is just a normal part of getting old, when he started feeling drained every single afternoon. But when his doctor ordered routine blood work, the results showed his B12 level was well below the healthy range. After supplementing as directed, he was surprised to feel full of energy within just a few weeks. He could even take morning walks and get back to gardening, something he had given up on for nearly a whole year. Many older adults suffer from chronic fatigue, lose their drive, have no appetite, and become less active simply because their bodies are short on B12, and no one tells them to get checked. The problem is this condition isn't painful or acute, so it is often dismissed or wrongly blamed on old age syndrome. If you are taking medicine, eating well, and sleeping enough but still feel worn out, consider B12, especially if you use antacids, the diabetes drug metformin, or follow a strict vegetarian diet. Your risk of deficiency is even higher. The fix is quite simple. A blood test can pinpoint your body's B12 level. If it's low, you can supplement with pills, periodic B12 shots, or adjust your diet with B12-rich foods like beef liver, salmon, eggs, milks, or plain yogurt. For older adults with poor absorption, sublingual tablets or injections are typically more effective. And remember, life's energy does not come from forcing yourself through each day. It comes from understanding what your body lacks and giving it exactly that. After 60, a healthy body doesn't need to be fast all the time, but it must be strong enough for you to live actively, feel light, and not let exhaustion dictate every small step you take in your daily life. B12 is the silent key that helps you reclaim that. Second, it supports your brain function. Have you ever been sitting with a simple question and your mind just goes blank? Or been mid-conversation and forgotten what you were about to say? For many people over 60, these moments happen more often, and sadly, most just assume it's a natural part of aging. But the truth is different. In many cases, mental decline, fogginess, and poor focus aren't caused by age, but by a vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 is essential for keeping your brain in working order. It helps build and protect the myelin sheath, an insulating layer around your nerves that allows signals to travel from your brain to your whole body smoothly, quickly, and accurately. When B12 is low, this protective layer gradually wears down. The result? Brain signals slow down and get jumbled, causing forgetfulness, trouble concentrating, and sometimes even psychological shifts like unexplained depression or anxiety. Mrs. Cynthia, 69, thought she was starting to slip a little when she could no longer remember appointments, fumbled with counting change, or could not follow a book's plot like before. She was worried, thinking it might be Alzheimer's. But when her doctor ordered blood work, her B12 level was half of what it should be. After just over a month of the right dosage, she felt her mind wake up. Her thinking became clearer, and she no longer had to jot everything down like before. You might not notice this decline as it is happening, because it does not hit you overnight. It creeps up slowly, silently. It starts with reading more slowly, thinking longer, then forgetting names, then losing patience, getting easily confused. And since you still speak normally and remember your way home, everyone, even you, thinks it's probably fine. But your body is still sending a message. You just have not heard it yet. The wonderful thing is, if caught and treated in time, B12 can help restore brain function to a remarkable degree, especially if you do not have prolonged nerve damage. Daily oral or sublingual tablets at the right dose, paired with B12-rich foods, can help you stay sharp, process things quickly, and hold on to that inner spark you have always had, even after you have retired. After 60, keeping your mind sharp isn't just about not forgetting. It is about being able to think clearly, decide independently, have deep conversations, and enjoy every moment of daily life. Because mental clarity isn't just a sign of memory. It is the quality that helps you preserve your identity, connect with loved ones, and live fully as yourself. And B12, silent but vital, is the gatekeeper of our clarity. Third, it protects your nervous system. Have you ever felt a numbness in your fingertips, a pins and needles feeling in your feet, or a mild electric-like buzz in your arm for no clear reason? Have you ever dropped something because your hand suddenly went weak, or held the handrail tighter because your footing no longer felt as solid? For people after 60, these symptoms are not rare at all. But what is concerning is that so many people chalk it up to age or normal wear and tear, when in reality their body is warning them of something more serious, a vitamin B12 deficiency affecting the peripheral nervous system. B12 is an indispensable nutrient for protecting your nerves. Specifically, it maintains the myelin sheath, the insulating coat around nerve fibers that protects signals and keeps your body's responses precise and coordinated. When you are low on B12, this protective layer thins, leaving nerves vulnerable to damage. The consequence is the onset of nagging symptoms, tingling, numbness, loss of sensation, slow reflexes, or mild motor issues, especially in the hands and feet. Mr. Thomas, 74, thought he had arthritis when his legs grew weaker, his hands started to tremble, and he began dropping glasses. But when his doctor checked his nervous system and ran blood tests, the results showed a severe B12 deficiency. His condition had gone on for over a year, so some of the damage was irreversible. Still, after a course of supplements and physical therapy, he improved significantly and wished he had known about it sooner. What is crucial is this: nerve damage from a B12 deficiency can become permanent if left too long, even if you supplement later. That is why early detection, recognizing the signs, and regular checkups are so critical for older adults. And sadly, many cases are only found when symptoms are already severe, making recovery take far more time and effort than it should have. You can start preventing this now by paying attention to what seem like minor signs. A slight tingling in your feet, numb hands when you wake up, feeling unsteady on your feet, or seeing your hand tremble slightly when lifting something. These changes should not be dismissed. Please talk to your doctor and ask for a B12 test if you have these symptoms. And if you need to supplement, prioritize easily absorbed forms like sublingual tablets or periodic injections, especially if you have a history of digestive issues, use antacids long-term, or are a vegetarian. After 60, staying agile and safe when you move is not just about muscles and joints. It is about your nervous system. Keeping your nerves healthy is how you protect your ability to walk, grip, care for yourself, and live independently for longer. And B12, though tiny, is an essential part of safeguarding that, because you deserve to live well, feel steady, and be in control with every single step you take. By the way, if you are still watching and getting some value from this, do me a favor and drop a 3 in the comments below. And if you haven't already, now's a great time to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you won't miss what's next. Your support truly helps us keep creating more helpful and inspiring content just like this for you. Fourth, it improves memory and concentration. Have you ever read a passage and had to go over it 3 times to get it? Or been telling a story and forgotten a key detail right in the middle? The older you get, the easier it is to feel like my brain is slowing down. But if these spells of brain fog, forgetfulness, and poor focus happen often, the problem might not be simple memory, but a vitamin B12 deficiency. B12 doesn't just keep your nerves healthy, it is also directly involved in creating neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that help the brain communicate with itself. When B12 is low, communication between brain regions slows, leading to a decline in short-term memory, reduced information processing speed, and especially a weaker ability to concentrate. This is precisely why people with low B12 often feel sluggish, fuzzy, and find it hard to keep up with conversations or what they are reading. Mrs. Joyce, 66, was a former elementary school teacher and had an excellent memory. But a few years into retirement, she started struggling to remember appointments, could not follow an entire movie, and felt she was becoming oddly absent-minded. After a blood test, her doctor found her B12 level was below optimal. After just 2 months of supplementing, she found she could read faster, handle chores more nimbly, and most importantly, felt confident again in conversations with family, something she had started to avoid. What you need to know is this: memory and focus are not just luck of the draw or things that must decline with age. They are skills and also the result of a stable biological foundation. And B12 is one of the most important building blocks of that foundation. If you find yourself drinking more coffee to stay alert or writing everything down so you do not forget, your body might be signaling a B12 deficiency. Instead of just coping with tricks, you can restore your memory function from the ground up by maintaining a stable B12 level through a proper diet or supplementation. Prioritize foods like liver, salmon, eggs, and plain yogurt, or ask your doctor about B12 lozenges if you have poor absorption. Combine that with light brain exercises, meditation, or walks in nature, and you will find your brain lighting up again without needing expensive memory enhancers or temporary fixes. After 60, you do not have to remember everything, but you deserve enough clarity to read a book, play with your grandkids, listen fully to a friend's story, and make sound decisions in your life. B12, silent but vital, is the clean current that keeps your brain running smoothly, without static, without flickering, without fatigue. And the fifth reason is to reduce your risk of anemia. Do you often feel a little dizzy when you stand up? Is your skin paler than it used to be? Or does your heart beat faster even from a slow walk? These seemingly small signs might be symptoms of anemia, a condition that is not uncommon in older adults. And one of the most common yet overlooked causes is a vitamin B12 deficiency. B12 plays an irreplaceable role in creating red blood cells. Specifically, it helps your bone marrow produce mature red blood cells that are the right shape and size to function correctly. When the body lacks B12, the red blood cells that are made become misshapen, abnormally large, and cannot carry oxygen effectively. The result is, even if your red blood cell count seems normal, their quality is poor, leading to a condition called megaloblastic anemia. Mr. Harold, 75, was once hospitalized for a sudden dizzy spell. After a series of tests, doctors found he had anemia from a long-term B12 deficiency, even though he had been eating a full diet. The reason was his long-term use of stomach medication, which reduced his B12 absorption. After a course of supplementary treatment, he recovered remarkably. His skin regained its color, walking no longer tired him, and most of all, he no longer had that drained feeling in the morning. Anemia from B12 does more than just make you tired. It also strains your heart, forcing it to work harder to compensate for the lack of oxygen, causing a rapid heartbeat, palpitations, and shortness of breath with activity. If left untreated, it can lead to an irregular heartbeat and seriously compromise cardiovascular function, especially for older adults whose circulatory systems are already less resilient. Anemia dramatically lowers quality of life, leading to poor appetite, restless sleep, irritability, and a loss of interest in everyday activities. It is important to note that B12 deficiency anemia is easily missed because, unlike iron deficiency, it does not always cause intense fatigue at first. The symptoms develop silently: mental fogginess, pale skin, low stamina, cold hands and feet, and are easily mistaken for normal signs of aging. So if you are over 60 and have ever felt a deep fatigue, noticed pale skin, or a racing heart from light activity, be proactive and ask your doctor to check your B12 levels, alongside the usual iron or hemoglobin tests. Supplementing correctly and promptly will not only help you get your energy back, but it will also protect your heart from an unnecessary burden. Because blood is the river of life that nourishes your entire body, and B12 is the diligent worker that keeps that river flowing fresh, full, and healthy. After 60, you do not need the strength of a 30-year-old, but you need enough blood, oxygen, and energy to live an active, joyful life and savor every moment. And B12, though it flies under the radar, is the cornerstone that keeps all of that secure every day. So we have just walked through 5 reasons why vitamin B12 cannot be ignored, especially once you are over 60. From fighting off persistent fatigue and keeping your mind clear, to protecting your nervous system, improving memory, and preventing anemia, B12 acts as a quiet but crucial pillar, keeping your body on solid ground every day. The unfortunate part is B12 is so often overlooked because it does not cause obvious pain, it does not send you to the emergency room, and it is not easy to spot from just a few passing moments of tiredness. But that silence is what makes a B12 deficiency so dangerous. It quietly erodes your memory, steals your vitality, and slows you down, all without you knowing why. The good news is you have the power to take control of this. A simple blood test, a talk with our doctor, a sublingual tablet each morning. Any of these can make a huge difference in your quality of life for years to come. And if you have ever thought, I am older now, I just have to live with it, B12 is clear proof that you do not. You do not have to accept fatigue, confusion, numbness, or poor focus as inevitable. Getting older does not have to mean getting weaker. Old age, when nurtured properly, can be the sharpest, most independent, and most peaceful time of your life. And B12, as small as it is, might just be the key that unlocks it. So today, what will be your first step? Reviewing the medications you are taking, scheduling a checkup that includes a B12 test, or maybe just sharing this video with a friend who is tired and does not know why. I would love to hear what you took away from this video in the comments. And if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it to spread the knowledge to more people. Because you never know, a small action today could completely change the life of someone who is suffering in silence. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next video, where we will continue our journey to live with clarity, health, and a true sense of self.